When I first put the order in for Calypso in December of 2013, there was no talk about PDR options whatsoever anywhere. No forum talk, no scuttlebutt in the magazines or anything. So it was pretty much out of the question, and so it wasn't an issue. But as wintertime rolled into springtime, what took place was the PDR was announced for the 2015, and with my priorities and stuff with the constraints going on, Bob Stahl put a lot of pressure on me to go for the 2015 anyway, and that the PDR would be an option. But I insisted on the 2014, and would figure there'd be a way around the PDR, but didn't turn out that way. If you'll notice with Calypso, I noticed it right off the bat when I took delivery that some of the 2015 was creeping in. Some of the easy stuff for the 2015 was going into the 2014s at the tail end of the manufacturing year. The windshield even is a 2015 windshield because it's scalloped out where the PDR should go. Now there's a shading here for the visor in the rear view mirror, and then it's cut away a little bit for the PDR option. This I'll point out in another video, that these two little pieces of masking on the windshield cut out your visibility. But anyway, let's talk about the retrofit of putting a 2015 PDR into a 2014. The first thing is the cable harness that goes across the top of the windshield, and I've checked that out. There's a cable harness that runs from the PDR and everything else OnStar across the top here and down the A-frame and down to a computer that sits right alongside where the hood release is in the side of the car here. Okay, so that's $1,200. I priced that out. The modules down below, that's $1,400 with navigation out of a place in Florida. And then there's a cable harness that goes from there over to the glove compartment for the memory stick. So that's got to be around $1,000. So we're talking maybe $4,000 to retrofit. So that's a no-go. Not when you can pick up the VIRB 360 for $800 at the high side, and the Kodak's less than $5, which is the system that I used before. But the Kodaks don't have the OB2 reader capability, so the VIRB was the next logical step to get the engine information onto the video. So that's where we sit. My first real exposure to the performance data recorder was at the Corvette driver school at Spring Mountain Raceway. So here's a video of one of my sessions, and follow the mouse here. I'm passing that guy in the white. That's my instructor up in front of me, and yeah, so I'm the first car on the lead car coming in. So follow the mouse here, and what I want to point out to you with regards to the camera is you see that up in the upper left hand corner this shaded area right there, and then over here on the right in the upper right corner, that shaded area there, that's that painting mask on the windshield. It intrudes just a tad into the image, and you can't get rid of that. That's fixed. So follow the mouse along here. Here's the PDR. Here's the GPS position. That's your track position, and this goes off your GPS log, just like the VIRB 360 does. Then your speed indicator, and then your throttle position is the red, and in the green is the throttle position, brake and throttle there. Then you have your gear indicator. It's in manual mode, so it shows that I'm in third gear. And right below that is your track time. That's the log going beyond that.
Then below that, in the lower right-hand corner, is your steering angle. Coming up on a turn here, so I managed to squeeze out a 70-degree steering angle around that corner. And then, of course, it flips over to the other side. And then over there, it identifies that your traction management and the mode you're in. That's the mode selector switch positions. Then your RPM, that's right, active. Let you know where your red line is. And then over in the extreme lower left-hand corner is your G indicator. So this is all fixed. This is all the instrumentation that you got. There's no adding, there's no deleting, and the positions are fixed. Now, see that? 2 minutes and 3.99 seconds on my first lap. So, as you're following this guy, this instructor's talking to you. He's instructing you, and he maintains a little bit of a lead. At 2 minutes and 3 seconds and 99 100ths is pretty much the same speed that we had behind the previous guy. But if you push this guy, if you close the gap between yourself and the lead instructor, he's in a ZR1, so you're not going to catch him. So you can try, but that's how you can get better speed at it at the driving school. You can push him. The better you are, the better he gets, and he means a good lead. So coming around here, about halfway done with the track now, and so there's your instrumentation anyway. Okay, up in the see, I'm following him. That is the driver's school. Anyway, back to the PDR. There's your course. There's right there. There's your speed. Right there. There's your throttle position. That's your gear. And coming up towards the end of the lap here, there's your steering angle. There's the RPM, and there's GPS. And let's see, where do I finish the speed here? Coming up on the end. Minute 53 seconds. That completes that lap. So I took 10 seconds off the other guy's speed. Not bad. If I'd waited a year, I could have had a PDR. Heads-up display and a vision of the track. That one is because I'm 66, and when I'm 76, I want to be able to remember what I was fucking doing. Yeah. Got my tunes. I got all ready to go. Okay, so what you see zooming in here is the Android phone that is exclusively for doing this job, and on it is the application called Harry's Lap Timer. And of all the different applications for Android for running the car, this is vastly the superior for track use, because it does, you'll notice it flash in red, which means I'm slower than my last lap or the average, and then when it flashes green, I'm doing better just there. Now dangling above that, you can see Cocopelli there. That's my G meter. That lets me know whether I'm at risk for losing it on these turns. And by practice, I know what Cocopelli does there on the different turns. So when he starts to get pretty extreme, that's when I decide to back off and mind what I'm doing a little bit better. Now, the other interesting thing, and you'll see it here shortly on Harry's lap timer, is it's getting the stuff from the OBD2 as well. So it lets you know when you're screwing up, like your shift point. When you come up close to your red line, it's going to give you an indication that you've spent a little bit too long in that particular gear, or you get the wrong gear, you're up near your red line. So you'll see it flash, the time will go away, and it'll flash the shift pattern for you. Well, the old time shift pattern, because this is an automatic and it's got the paddle shifters. So paying attention to all the instrumentation and keeping track of where you are on the track, that's how you do it. There it is. You see it flash there. I was a little bit too long, got too close to the red line. So this is all gone now. I'm working now with the VIRB XE, and the VIRB 360 will be the cameras, and I'll stick with Harry's lap timer for track use. So that brings us to today, where I'm at today. And where I'm at today starts off with the OBD2 reader down here. It's Bluetooth, and it's looking for some pairing right now because nothing's turned on. But that OBD2 reader will provide information to the Garmin XE, and you'll notice that it is taken the place of the GoPro that I had there in the previous video. And then over here, hanging from the rear view mirror, is the Garmin 360, or the VIRB 360. So I will get, from this lens, a picture of me, which replaces the GoPro that used to be in the upper corner there, and give me an idea of what's going on inside the cockpit. And then on the back side, you can see that's the front lens that will get the video out the front of the car in 360, whereas this one only gets the front of the car with the instrumentation and the heads-up display. The Android will still go in the same position to give me my track times, and hopefully there's enough difference between that sensor or that lens and the Android to give me that indication. Now, the one thing that goes away is my G-force meter, and that's the one that's here. It used to be hanging off the rear view mirror, but has been replaced by the 360. So I'm not going to do that. I'll just have a separate G indication on the Harry's lap timer. So that application is pretty good. As you saw in the video, it's got all the engine information, so it tells you when to shift, and it tells you when to do those things. And then of course you've got the inboard instrumentation as well as the heads-up display. So everything gets recorded, and I think with a little bit more versatility than the PDR that comes stock. So I'm pretty pleased, and nowhere near the investment of the PDR option. Okay, what you're looking at now is the dashboard view of the Garmin VIRB XE, and you'll notice here that I got to work on the mounting a little bit. A little shaky in track mode when you get around 100 miles an hour on the freeway here. Being on the track, it'll be a lot better than that. And then now what you're seeing is the 360 camera, and shot in a regular mode rather than the 360 mode. So I get to control what you're looking at in the this mode of operation, done in editing, by the way. I'm always working off of the raw 360, but I get to pick what you're looking at in that particular mode of operation. And there's another video that's shot in 360 where you can control what you're looking at. Now this is probably the last time that I'm going to use the GoPro in the corner of the windshield up here. Don't need that anymore with the 360 camera, because I can point and shoot whatever I want to look at in either the 360 mode or the edited mode.
But I wanted to show you one other factor about this, and that is the versatility of this 360 camera. It can go just about anywhere. If I take this bracket off and grab this bracket, you remember at the beginning of the video I had this in a tripod mount. There we go. And there you go, the tripod mount. So now I can take the camera virtually anywhere and stick it on the car, or using different mounting techniques. I got the car riddled with the GoPRO mounts anyway, so I can take this adapter and put it anywhere I want and quickly change over to the manual to walk around with it. So yeah, versatility of the VIRB product 360 between the regular camera and the 360. I think I'm ready for track days video. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed this long video on the topic of PDRs.